Hi, my name is Cam Hall. I get to work as one of the vice principals here at Chinook High School, and I wanted to take a few minutes today to bring you into a conversation about personal digital devices, cell phones, and guidelines that we are going to begin implementing this spring here at Chinook High School. First, I want to thank you as parents, guardians, and caregivers for your feedback on the survey that was sent out a few weeks ago. In that survey, we asked you questions about your perspective as it comes to how do digital devices, cell phones, impact your students' learning, social interaction, engagement, personal development, and well-being. So thank you so much for taking time to do that. We had numerous responses, and your feedback is valuable. Over the last couple of months, we've also sought out the feedback of students, asking them questions, bringing them in to talk to our staff, giving us insight into their world that we clearly need understanding of. And so we have brought in students, parents, caregivers, and guardians, and as a staff have been navigating conversations about how do we better support our learners in our environment for engagement, learning, and well-being. Because everything we do here at Chinook is for the academic, the social, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual growth of our students. And we can see that this new wave of addiction that's coming from personal digital devices is making an impact in those areas. So we want to help. We want to help educate our kids on how to use digital devices in a way that is helpful, that is constructive, that is improving learning and not interfering with it. And of course, improving their well-being and social and mental health and helping them interact with others while they're in our space. So to support student learning, well-being, and engagement, we are going to implement a series of guidelines in this spring, starting actually May the 15th. May 15th, we're going to begin implementing these guidelines, and we're going to be having conversations over the next week or so in assemblies and in classrooms about what it looks like to implement these guidelines in our space. So first of all, I want to clear this up. What is a personal digital device? Any device that has internet access to music, texting, gaming, streaming capabilities. So we're talking about cell phones, smartwatches, iPads, tablets, meta glasses, you name it, those types of tools. And they are tools. They're tools that can be used effectively if our students are shown how to do so. And so we are asking a couple things of you. We're asking for your support. We're asking for patience. We're asking for your guidance in the home, having conversations with your student about what it looks like to have a personal digital device and use it in a way that's constructive and effective. Now, one of the eye-opening things for us in our survey was 72% of caregivers, guardians, and parents are sending messages over digital devices to students during class time. And I think as adults, I have middle school age children. I think as adults and as parents and caregivers, we can take a role in that and we can help support our students by not sending those messages until break times. And in the guidelines, you're going to see that, but I want to give you the filter for our decision here at Chinook High School. We want to support learning. We want to support growth. We want to support well-being. And based on observation, research, conversations with students, parents, caregivers, and guardians, and here as teachers, what we've seen is that we believe cell phone use is having, in some instances, a negative impact on student learning, mental health, and engagement. We want to help support our kids, help teach them how to use these devices in a constructive way while not interfering with their learning. And so when we look at supporting our students and understanding how cell phones and other devices can impact learning and well-being, we want to teach and model for our students. As educators, as parents, guardians, and caregivers, we want to model how to use cell phones and devices in an appropriate, constructive, and effective way. And so we have some new guidelines, like I said, starting on May 15th. And here's what they are. Your personal device is not on your person. The research suggests that the act of the notification, having the device on you, is in itself enough to distract you from what you're doing. And so we're asking students, put your device in your bag. Put it in your bag next to your desk. Put it in your coat hanging on the back of your chair, not to have it on your body, not in your pocket. Turn your notifications on your smartwatches off, or put your phone in your locker. Keep your phone in your locker, in your bag, not on your person. And if you don't have a bag or a locker, which many of our students don't, our teachers will have a designated space in their classrooms in which you can put that device. Here's the hard part. Our kids are used to using devices. They're going to have some pushback. They're going to be not understanding why we're doing this. And our lens is learning and engagement and conversation. And so our hope is that with your help and support as parents, guardians, and caregivers, we can be constructive in redirecting the use of our cell phones in our classroom. Now, some of our teachers love to dive in and use cell phones as tools, and they're going to be able to do that. So if you are a kid watching this and you're like, my teacher, we use cell phones as learning tools all the time. Perfect. That's constructive, appropriate use. And teachers have autonomy in deciding that in their own class of when to use and not to use. But our guidelines as a basis, as a starting point here is you're not going to have your device on your person. You're going to have your earbuds and headphones out and off during instruction time. Now, many teachers allow students to listen to music while they work and in collaborative environments. That's great. But during instruction, we're going to have those things out. You're going to have notifications turned off. I got mine turned off right now on my watch and on my phone so it doesn't distract me from what I need to do. And we're going to indicate special learning situations as educators in which those devices can be used to help support you through this process. Now, we know this is going to be a growth process over the next 6 weeks till the end of the year, and we're going to follow this heading into the fall. So give us some leeway. We're going to have lots of conversations in the next little bit. You may be reached out by your child's teacher. Just know that these are appropriate growth conversations to take place. Now, students are welcome to have their devices during breaks, during flex time, that lunch block in the middle of the day, but they're encouraged to build positive social interactions. And so as parents who we want to reach out, or caregivers that want to reach out and text our kids, make sure they're okay, we are going to ask you, wait for those break times in our schedule. Those break times in our schedule, I'm just looking at the timetable here, 10:55 to 12. That's a great time to message your student. Or between 1:20 and 1:30, that's another great time. So help support here at the school. We got the personal digital devices guidelines coming out. If you have questions, I know you're going to have questions. Send them to us here at the school. Just go to the website, go to the CHS web address, send your questions there. Over the next couple of days, I'm going to do some quick videos, some quick messages about answering some frequently asked questions like, what do I need to do if I need to contact my student? What will happen if a student is struggling with the new guidelines and practices? What can parents and guardians and caregivers do to support implementing in the classroom and the new guidelines? And what can we do at home to support our student with the new guidelines? So I'm going to answer those 4 things over the next 4 days. We're heading into next week. May 15th, we're going to implement these. I've attached these guidelines to this message, to this email that you're receiving. And if you have any questions, please reach out via email via our CHS website. Excited to put these in. It's going to be a process, going to be some growth. Work with us. We're excited to work with you, our community. We value you. You're an important part of what we do here. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.